Alright, welcome back to Chapter 3 of Saddle Up with Pippa Funnell.
Davy, do you know where I can find Vincent Blacklock, the promoter?
I don't know him. Do you think I've got time to make new acquaintances with all the work I've got to do at the stud farm? Go and ask in the village.
You don't have to react like that. Hello, Harry. I'm looking for Mr. Blacklock's house. Do you know where it is?
That bloke from the town who dresses oddly. There's some say he's built a modern-style house outside the village, but that's all I know.
Hello, Mrs. Catchpole. Do you have a telephone directory? I'm looking for Mr. Blacklock's address.
In the phone box at the end of the road. But if you're looking for Mr. Blacklock, he's put up hoardings just about everywhere on the roads. He wants to bring in the investors, you know.
Binchley, Binker, Blab. Here we are, Blacklock. Oh, why not? I'll tear out the page. All the information must be there. Sorry to bother you. Do you know where Vincent Blacklock lives?
The promoter who's buying up land around here? No, I didn't even know he lived here. Try the posh residential areas near the river. Or ask Molly. She always knows everything.
So going to the Blacklock property is the worst place you have to go basically in this game, because the two side paths that you can take are either along the River Otter, which we haven't gone to yet, or going as if you're going to the show jumping courses. He's a little bit more further down the path from the show jumping courses, and we already know from having to go down the show jumping course path that the stamina is like twice as bad on that trail for some reason, and so you have to stop a lot to get to his house. So I will be speeding up through all of this, but you're following the signs that have the white tree on the blue signage.
Now, what was it he said? I think he was telling me about his phone number. Oh, cool. It opens.
I'm delighted to see you, Miss Beaumont.
You scared me. Where did you pop out from?
Just a little security system. A man with my responsibilities can never be too cautious. Come across the terrace. I'm in the living room. It's to the right, after the entrance. We have a lot of things to talk about. I'm going to be very plain speaking, Miss... May I call you by your first name?
I prefer to be called Miss Beaumont, if you don't mind. We're here to talk business, aren't we?
Oh, you've got character. Very good. I intend to set up a green tourist complex in the region. My project requires a piece of land with sufficient water resources. I believe there's a huge lake at Grange Meadows.
So?
I would like to buy the stud farm and estate from you. This would be a strong and convenient solution to your financial difficulties. I'm suggesting killing two birds with one stone.
It's out of the question for me to sell you anything whatsoever. How dare you be so presumptuous?
Take a glance at the property deed on the coffee table. It's a copy, of course. Using that little plot of land, I can stop the development of the stud farm in its tracks. And with no development, both you and I know you'd be forced to sell sooner or later.
You're bluffing. I'm the sole owner of the estate.
Be careful. I'm an influential and determined man.
Are you threatening me?
Simply warning you. I'll leave you to think about it. Here's my card. Don't hesitate to get back in touch when you've changed your mind.
I must get more information about this man and his so-called property deed. Perhaps the villagers can help me. I could show them his card, which I've kept in my inventory.
Because we are already down here and the fastest training to do is the show jumping, I guess maybe the entry-level dressages as well, but the show jumping is pretty quick, so I want to get some extra stamina and other things for this horse. So I'm going to go do a couple courses of the show jumping really quick, just so that I can increase the stamina for a mission that I know is further on in the game.
That's Vincent Blacklock's card. So you found him in the end?
Yes, he's a horrible man who wants to buy the estate, and he's rattling his saber to scare me.
You know, it could be that selling up is the best solution for everyone. Frankly, I don't believe the stud farm can be saved.
This is crazy. Do you really want this guy to take over the estate and do whatever he wants with it?
I was just expressing an opinion.
You found your town bird, I see.
Yes, and it's a real bird of prey. He wants to buy up Grange Meadows. I think he's going to stir up trouble for me.
Don't you let him get the better of you, my dear. You should go and see Jeremy. He's a solicitor, true, but he's a decent bloke all the same. Perhaps he could help you.
Mr. Blacklock's visiting card. What a lovely quality of paper.
Snake skin would be more appropriate.
All the same, his project could well save the village and the surroundings. Excuse me, I've got things to do.
Mr. Scrivener, I'm having problems with Vincent Blacklock. What do you think his plans are?
Well, since he turned up, he's been crisscrossing the region to promote his project for a kind of hotel, I think. But I'm not particularly involved in his business affairs, and anyway, I'd be bound by the code of professional secrecy.
He claims that the plot of land next to the lake is his, and he's threatening to block the development of the stud farm unless I sell him the estate.
No. If I remember rightly, that plot belonged to your aunt. She may have yielded the use of it, or even the full rights to it, to a stock breeder. Patricia was very broad-minded. You should try to sort this business out.
Where can I find the stock breeder?
I've got a newspaper article about him somewhere. He's fairly well known in the region because he's part of the Green movement. I really must tidy up. Look at this dust. Ah, here we are.
I'll find proof that this plot of land is mine. Thanks. I'll keep this article in my inventory. It could come in useful.
So Peter Ellis's land is the first left coming from the village, and take a right at the carriage cart that's kind of left abandoned at the side of the road, and all the way up to the fence line where you'll find him and his property with all of his beloved sheep.
Hi, do you remember me? Last time we met, I nearly went into the village on horseback.
Oh, sorry, you've come at the wrong moment. My sheep have wandered off in all directions.
Haven't you got a dog?
He ate some Chemgrow, that ultra-chemical fertilizer muck. He's as sick as a dog. Well, normally I'd laugh at that, but he's been throwing up all night. We really need a vet in the village.
But who uses that fertilizer?
That's the funny thing. Nobody, as far as I know. It's dead suspicious, if you want my opinion. When I found the box near the lake, it was too late. The mutt had already got his muzzle in it.
As it happens, that's the bit of land I wanted to talk to you about.
I really do have too much work. If you want to go on chatting, you'll have to help me round up the sheep.
No problem. What do I have to do?
It's a cinch. Approach the sheep using the arrow keys to guide you, then push them one by one towards the pen. As soon as they're in front of the entrance, they'll go in on their own. Docile little creatures, really.
I will speed this bit up too, but the biggest thing is to not get too close to the sheep until you're facing the direction you want them to walk. And I would start with the ones that are furthest away. This is a timed event, so you don't have a lot of time, and the sheep are kind of hard to steer because they don't really travel in a straight line. They kind of turn as they run. But if you can get them to the open gate side of the pen, they will go in on their own. So you just have to keep doing it. I actually had a really easy time doing it for not having played this game for so long. Until the very last sheep, I could not get it to go in the direction that I wanted it to. So just don't get frustrated. Don't go too fast. It's a lot of walking and trotting to get them in the general direction of the pen. And you cannot progress if you don't do this challenge. So you don't have a choice. Just buckle down. You'll be really tired of hearing these things crying out. So every time you directionally move them, they will make little noises. I just turn off my volume because sometimes I find that to be even more aggravating than this part of the game itself. So yeah, best of luck.
Thanks. I don't know what I'd have done without your help.
Did you sell the land near the lake to Vincent Blacklock?
Well, he certainly tried to buy it from me, but I said no. He makes out he wants to help the region, but I don't trust these industrialists.
Can you prove that the land belongs to you and that I've got the right to use it?
It's your lucky day. I wanted to go and see the police to lodge a complaint about the fertilizer, and I've got a photocopy of the property deed right here on me. Here. I'll give it to you for having helped me out.
Mr. Scrivener, I've got the property deed. Blacklock lied. The land really belongs to Mr. Ellis.
Well played. Come and meet me at the office straight away. I'll call Mr. Blacklock. Miss Beaumont, Mr. Blacklock, we've come together to give a final ruling on the so-called Lake Woods plot of land. Miss Beaumont has new information to add to this contentious file.
I have here a copy of the property deed for the land. It belongs to Peter Ellis, but I have the right to use it. That's the end of the matter. If you want to continue harassing me, I shall take you to court.
Is this deed genuine?
I can certify that it is.
Then I concede. At least for the moment. But believe me, young lady, I haven't finished with you. See you soon.
Now, there's a determined man. You be careful.
You bet I will.
Registration is open for the next competition. Let me remind you that it's absolutely essential to register for the next competition as soon as possible.
Hello, Miss Beaumont. We support talented young people, and we'd be happy to help you develop your activities if you win the competition.
Quick, take the horse box, and don't be late.
I hope you've checked that your horse is capable of taking the competition. It must be able to jump and perform figures.
we're gathered here today for a new competition, a complete intermediate level competition that will call for lots of concentration and skill from all our champions. The harmony between displayed. Welcome to this new show jumping event, which I hope will live up to our expectations, because there are some excellent riders taking part in it. Truly masterful show jumping event. It's now time to glance at the general competition results. This is pure art. This young lady has trained her horse really well, and the result is there for all to see.
You've won this competition again! Meet me at the office. You're on the right track. Thanks to your results in the competition, you can go ahead with the new renovations. Oh, yes, I nearly forgot. You've also won a new horse for your stables. The new possible improvements are a show jumping horse, the renovation of the saddlery, or the creation of a bed and breakfast establishment on your stud farm. I notice you still haven't renovated your second stable. I'll have to keep this horse in the village until you can accommodate it on the estate. Congratulations! The new item will be ready in a few weeks.
Hello, Miss Beaumont. We're giving you extra credits. Something weird's going on here. The horses are running around free all over the place. You should go to the stables.
And we'll pick up with Chapter 4 in the next video.